I really do wonder, is it gonna be an original enemy for this event? Steady Progress, Part 2. But yeah, I hope that if it is an original enemy, that they look as cool as the Konosuba original enemy. Because that one was pretty decent looking. Also, I wonder if they're gonna pause to events, or is this really gonna be a miscommunication situation? Because I would say, if something's going on with the event, they should be like, hold up, pause, all troops gather up. We're gonna go talk with Rimuru and Elmisia and figure out what's going on. Okay, that's the second battle. Or the second battle area. But yeah, I really hope that the characters aren't dumb and just start attacking the other troops. Because that seems like something that would have long-term effects on their relationship. Considering how we just saw this relationship get stronger in the 3rd season. Rise of Lords, Part 1. I've confirmed the situation, Great Rimuru. Let's hear it. There were indeed traces of a fierce battle. And that was caused by our troops? It's hard to determine just yet, but seeing how the other nations are reacting, it was most likely. Why would Tempest do this to us? They tricked us by saying it was just a drill. I knew we shouldn't have trusted a demon lord. Hey, none of these guys objected before the drill. They were all excited to do this, going like, yeah, we'll show the other nations how well and trained we are. And there was, like, no objections to this, being like, I hate monsters. They're gonna trick us. This and that. I can't stand listening to all these insults. Would it be okay if I dealt with them? Yeah, once again, Soy is kind of wanting to kill people that insult Rimuru or show him disrespect. I'd like to leave things to you, but... Wait, what do you mean, dealt with? Your silence is scaring me, Soy! These soldiers aren't to be dealt with, okay? Understood. One more thing. The wounded have been treated with potions, but unfortunately, some of our soldiers have gone missing in the aftermath. Huh? Gone missing? I've confirmed it with Benimaru, so there's no doubt. My guess is they've been abducted. An abduction? Huh? It'll be hard to narrow down who's behind this. Soy, sorry, but I need you to stay out there and keep on the lookout. Understood. Seriously, what's going on? Not only have our soldiers gone berserk, but now some have gone missing. Actually, what's worse is how Dworgan and Thalion are going to feel about us now. I know my soldiers would never go on a rampage like that, but there's no way the victims are going to think that way too. Worst case scenario, this could trigger a real war. We need to find out what really happened as soon as possible. I don't think Dworgan and Thalion would devise a scheme like this. so I should probably assume that there's a third party involved. Well, technically a fourth party, because it's Thalion, Dworgun, and Tempest, so fourth party. Dworgun Headquarters. I find it hard to believe that Tempest soldiers would commit such a horrendous act. But we can't deny the fact that many Dworgun soldiers have suffered injuries. On top of that, the soldiers are panicking, and there have been reports of a skirmish breaking out already. If we don't do something about this, people could end up losing their lives. I'm sure Rimuru didn't want things to turn out this way. I think it's safe to assume that an outside force was behind this. But this might be a good opportunity to see whether Rimuru has what it takes to be a good leader for his people. I do actually like this characterization of Gazelle. He already assumes that it could be another party that's disrupting their drill, and that he doesn't automatically assume it's Rimuru, because he knows him well enough. Although we don't know about Omizia, as she'll assume that it's Rimuru since their relationship is not as good. But yeah, I really do love how it's not a misunderstanding and that Gazelle doesn't go straight into war with Rimuru. Thalion Headquarters. It would be foolish not to intervene. At worst, this would result in an all-out war between the three nations. What shall we do? I'm sure Dworgen simply won't stay put after they've suffered all this damage. They've reigned too long as a neutral state with overwhelming military power to be taking a one-sided beating like this. I'm sure that Gazelle will head to the front line. I see. In that case, I can't just stick around here. Emperor Omizia, what are you doing? Are you serious, King Gazelle? You're going to head to the battlefield yourself? Of course. I'm sure neither Tempest nor Rimuru had any intention of starting trouble. But one thing's for certain. There's friction among the Tempest soldiers. So I'm going to take advantage of this situation and attack them myself. Okay, I am completely confused now. So, is he still trying to play the game while Tempest is having a crisis? Like, does he really want to win the game this badly that instead of just pausing the game and help Tempest figure out what the problem is, he's just gonna try and take over some outpost that they're guarding while Tempest is dealing with the situation? After all, we have no choice but to use this opportunity if we want to turn the tides of battle. He literally is! What? But this is supposed to be a drill. Ha ha ha! Well, that depends on how you interpret the word drill. But you may get hurt. I appreciate the concern, but I find your remark quite irrelevant. Who do you think I am? I am King Gazelle of the armed nation of Dworgun. Indeed. Please forgive my insolence. This sudden act of violence by Tempest, it may have been unexpected, but I'll use it to my advantage. Go on, Rimuru. Show me how you're going to get out of this mess. Everyone, follow me. We're heading to the front lines. Yes, sir. Alright. Honestly, I'm surprised by the writing a little bit, that they didn't actually fall into that trap of just assuming each other were evil. Like, I really do hate that in shows when, like, allies are interpreting the worst from their allies. Like, I'm really glad that they had restraint for making Gazelle not believe that's what Tempest was trying to do. Okay, game crashed again. So we're gonna have to see this again. But yeah, it just would have been a trope that the writers could have easily done in this game. That the allies just interpret what their allies did was just the worst thing ever, and there's no explanation needed. That Gazelle's willing to believe in Rimuru that he didn't want his troops to do that, or if they are doing that, he will deal with it. And so it's not on Rimuru. I kind of think Elmizia would be smart enough to know if something is going on. Like, she would be able to interpret, being like, this would be so dumb if Rimuru did this right now. Because they don't even have their full force, and they're engaging in the training grounds. So, I kind of, like, half believe that she may be ready to battle Tempest and Dwargon, but also should be kind of smart enough to know that there's no reason for them to do this, especially if they're not at full strength attacking Thalion and Dwargon. Hero King's Arrival, Part 1. Meanwhile, at the front line, purge those traitorous Tempest soldiers! There's been some kind of mistake! We haven't betrayed anyone! Get 'em! Ack! Whoa! Looks like they don't want to hear what we have to say. I mean, it's not like we've got anything to say to them since we don't actually know what caused all this. What do we do, Gabata? Gabata! Yeah, where is Soy? Why is he not in the front lines, stopping people with his sticky steel thread? Like, is he just looking out to see if anything super crazy happens? Like, is he letting the chaos go so that he can see someone using magic on the troops? Gabata! Remember, try not to harm them. This is a drill after all. We're just playing a friendly game of capturing each other's territories. No one's to break that rule, okay? I'm sure Great Rimuru will arrive soon to sort everything out. Right! Meanwhile, at the Tempest headquarters, it must be chaos out there in the front lines due to the disturbance our soldiers caused. I should probably head to the scene myself, but I still have to command our forces. But then again, I still have to find out what happened. Notice, I advise you transfer your right of command to the individual Benimaru. Oh, good idea. Let's do that. But wait, isn't that, like, totally against the rules? Affirmative. However, I recognize that this is a state of emergency, and therefore advise you to transfer your right of command to the individual Benimaru. You're right. I know we're breaking the rules, but it's an emergency. Further notice, it seems the individual Gazelle Dwargo has left his headquarters and is advancing. I swear, Raphael is just a cheat system. Like, I don't know if it really does work like this in the main series, but to hear that Raphael knows that Gazelle left his headquarters, which I would imagine every headquarters is a few miles from each other. Like, this is cheating. Like, that he's able to monitor, I guess, strong people moving around. Judging by the direction, I assume that he is heading towards the front line, which is currently in a state of chaos. King Gazelle's advancing. I guess we both think alike, but it'll be too late for me to catch up now. He can literally fly, and I'm sure he can teleport as well. Now, I don't know what the restrictions of the teleport is, but I'm pretty sure Rimuru can cross the distance of the battlefield. Because the battlefield is literally the forest. It's his hometown. So he should be able to get through this area super quickly. Because he's acting as if it's like hours away. And plus, what happens if he is even a little bit of late to when Gazelle gets there? Like, nothing different happens. He probably helps in the situation. The Dworgen troops are advancing together on a large scale. I assume that they are preparing to capture one of our posts. His troops are also on the move. Don't tell me Gazelle is still playing the game amidst all this confusion. On second thought, Gazelle's exactly the kind of guy who would do that. He probably sees this as a chance to turn the tables on us while we're panicking. Ha ha ha! How naive of you! Stop looking down on me like that! I can't tell, is this still flashback Rimuru, or is this current Rimuru? So is he telling Gazelle in the flashback to stop looking down on him? Or is he currently in the present saying this to like the flashback Gazelle? This is an ordeal that I need to overcome. My people expect me to have the capacity to quell this confusion while proceeding with the military drill. If that's the case, then I'll handle them both. Benimaru, can I ask you to take command of our troops? There's been an emergency, and I need to head there myself. Certainly. Could you brief me on the war situation? I see. I've got a general idea of the situation now, but seeing how things are, we'll have to keep a close eye on what Thalion is up to as well. I'm trying to figure out where Benimaru is. This looks like the normal houses in Tempest, like the background they would use whenever they weren't in Rimuru's house. But this could also be a tent that they were using on the battlefield. So I have no idea where Benimaru is exactly, but I think he's in one of the tents. Given that Dworgen has launched a large-scale attack, I'm sure Thalion would want to take advantage of this opportunity. Good point. In that case, you'll have to deal with Thalion as well. Can you handle it? Sure, that won't be a problem. Alright, take command and try to fend off both armies while leading them towards the front lines. That's where I'll be waiting. And don't forget to keep this post safe too. Okay, I'm leaving this in your hands. Understood. Right, next up, Hikaru, are you ready to move out? Certainly, Great Rimuru. You've heard about the skirmish that happened during the drill, right? King Gazelle is currently heading towards the front line. Can you hold back King Gazelle until I get there? Alright, this is actually really cool. Because as much as these two have a relationship, Gazelle and Hikaru, they really don't have any chats in the show that I've seen. Like, the very first and only chat that I think they've had is when Gazelle first came to visit Tempest to check it out, and Hikaru was there, and that's where King Gazelle revealed that he was trained under Hikaru when he was still nameless. Oh ho ho! How interesting! You want me to take on the Hero King? Can you do that for me? Yes, certainly. That should buy me some time. Let me head to the scene. Meanwhile, at the Thalion headquarters, I shall head out to the battlefield. To the battlefield? Emperor Elmesia? Surely that is far too dangerous. It seems both Gazelle and Rimuru have made their move, so I should go there as well. I don't believe Rimuru intends to turn against us. Still, Gazelle's taken advantage of all the confusion and gone on the offensive. In other words, Dwargon has proclaimed that this military drill is still going, so regardless of whoever caused the disturbance, we still need to focus on winning the game. And I agree with Dwargon's stance that mercy has no place in war. Any regrets can only be healed through victory. All soldiers, listen up. You're going to make an attack on the Tempest army now. Meanwhile, I shall head to the scene of the disturbance since Gazelle and Rimuru are bound to get there eventually. But we can't rule out the possibility that Tempest really did turn against us. Besides, it's our job to protect you, Heavenly Emperor Elmesia. We must keep you safe at all costs, even if it kills us. Don't worry, Rimuru is not the type to be untrue to his words. I can tell just by the amount of trust Gazelle puts in him. But we can't afford to have something bad happen to you. Nothing bad will happen to me. Understood. Hehe. This soldier's such a worrier. He reminds me of Harold. Why didn't she bring Harold? I guess probably he doesn't have a actual model, since he's not a card in-game or character you can play as. So they still don't have him, but mark my words, he'll probably have a banner soon enough. He has the disintegration. I don't know if he does more in the series later on. Still, why does little Gazelle always have to be so competitive? I guess it's because he trusts Rimuru enough to know that things are fine. Also, does she just have a body double in her room or tent? Or is this supposed to be like someone dressed up as her? But we're not going to just remain silent. It must be tough for Rimuru. But I hope he can rise to the occasion. So yeah, what did she do here? Did she transfer her mind to a different body? Like, is this how she changes outfits? Like, she doesn't just put her outfits on mannequins? Does she put her different outfits on different bodies? The scene where Tempest soldiers went berserk. This is... King Gazelle! To think that you, yourself, would advance to the front line. Alright, once again, they have another weird kind of sentence. Why do they put you yourself? I'm just trying to figure out, how would you change this? Yeah, I don't know how to fix this. I think just getting rid of you, or maybe just using you would advance the front line. I think either getting rid of one of those two would work, instead of using both you yourself.
Oh.
It's an emergency after all. Now, tell me exactly what happened. Tempest soldiers suddenly started attacking us with the intent to kill. Some of our men would have been mortally wounded if they'd been careless. I see. But one of the Tempest officers provided us with potions to heal them. Okay, so not everyone in the Tempest forces here have been turned to berserkers. Also, that is a very interesting fact, if true, that officers have the healing potions, I guess, to heal their teammates. Or maybe everyone in Tempest is given healing potions, but officers are just given the extras, so they can give some to the troops. Because of that, all of us are unharmed. What? Just because they healed us, we're supposed to forgive their barbaric acts? Well... blood has been spilled. We can't ignore that. Indeed, King Gazelle, please allow us to fight back. Our reputation is on the line. We can't let them get away with this. I understand exactly how you feel. However, I would assume that Rimuru has no idea that this has happened. There must be a reason behind this violence. I can't allow you to retaliate without hard evidence. Still, this is a military drill. Tempest should be well aware that the unexpected is to be expected in war. Therefore, we shall use this opportunity to go on the offensive. Yes! It's weird. That was rumors and whispering instead of them being like, yeah, let's do it! So, are they actually doubting Gazelle? Let the anger and pain you've endured be healed by the sweet taste of victory when we win this drill. Yes, sir! Well, well, if it isn't King Gazelle himself. Ah, the Sword Oni. A Tempest officer! Oh, okay, so is it Hikaru that gave them the potions? Sword Oni, have you come to deliver a message from Rimuru? Also, I guess that's what he referred to Hikaru before he got a name, but he currently doesn't call him by name now that he has a name. I would say that's a little weird. Yes, Great Rimuru will be here shortly, so I would like you to wait here until then. Unfortunately, I can't do that. I've just ordered my men to attack on Tempest. That's unfortunate. You yourself understand very well that unforeseen events are part of war. You wouldn't think I was being dirty, would you? Of course not. Everybody, stand back. I'll deal with him personally. You know, I didn't come here to cross swords with you. Well, that's a lie. I mean, isn't that what he literally told Rimuru? That you want me to hold him off or deal with him? And he was like, I'll gladly do it. I'm well aware of that. Still, you must have expected things to turn out this way, no? I'm sure Rimuru sent you to me with that in mind, Sword Oni.
いやはや
I suppose no general would ever halt simply because their enemy said so, and that also holds true for the King of Dwargun. Of course. Although I may be friends with Rimuru, as the king of a military state, I cannot hold back during war.
来るがいい
Sounds reasonable. However, I'm not gonna let any of your soldiers pass me.
そうこなくて
No,
は
we will. Even if you were once my teacher, I will defeat you with everything that I've got. Okay, so here you can actually see the full axe and him holding it. I mean, we saw it during battle, but it is cool to see like this, up and personal, seeing all the details of the axe.
なんだって
Hero King's Arrival, Part 2.
どれ軽くもんで
I really do wonder who's stronger, because Gazelle seems to still be intimidating to Rimuru, like currently, and Hikaru is definitely weaker than like Rimuru. So I don't know if that's just because, ah, damn, he actually survived that. Like just because of Gazelle's personality that he's so strong, like, or intimidates Rimuru. I think that's how it's better worded.
答えますな
It's not that he's like super powerful, like Demon Lord level.
血がたぎる戦いであった
But then again, I could be completely wrong about that. Who knows?
負けんよ
Emperor's Arrival. Oh, okay. So I was like thinking, who is an emperor? And then I just remembered Elmisia as an emperor. She's not a king.
ね
Yeah! Ha! You still got much to learn. What's going on? I can't see any of their attacks. So this is what a duel between two masters looks like.
ははは
I see your swordsmanship has improved again. That gives me great pride as your teacher. You're as strong as ever, Sword Oni. In fact, I think you've gotten even stronger.
来るがいい
Fluttering me will do you no favors. Come now, we've still got much to discuss with our swords. Meanwhile, at the scene of the disturbance,
ん
Hikaru should be holding Gazelle back. I hope the king hasn't backed out of the fight.
あ
I'll need to conduct a basic investigation of the scene.
ああ
Soy!
ジョイ
Right.
ふむ
Judging from how barren it is, it certainly looks like things got out of control here. Yes, but there's no way our soldiers would have started a riot. The only thing that could have caused this would be some sort of mind manipulation.
え
Mind manipulation? Huh? Did someone cast illusion magic on our soldiers?
さて
I think there's a possibility we can't discount. And needless to say, when it comes to magic,
ん
the Sorcerer's Dynasty Thalion,
うーん
Soy, are you doubting Thalion? All I'm saying is that it's a possibility that cannot be ruled out. Hoo hoo hoo. I see. That arrogant elf who calls herself the Heavenly Emperor was the mastermind, huh? Oh, okay, so in this lighting, Diablo's outfit looks more green than black. Is it actually always been green and not black? Because that is a very strange color for Diablo to be wearing. But yeah, it's just so weird that they automatically suspect Dalion just because they're very good at magic. Now, I understand the connection, but I don't think that's hard evidence to be like, yep, it's definitely them.
ふむ
Then I shall see to it that she is dealt with.
ああ
Yeah, that'd be great. I like how he stops himself because he just realized what Diablo was about to do. As like, nope, 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 need to stop this.
止まれ
Not! We don't even have proof! Don't just assume that she's the culprit.
いや
Amicia is a good person. I want to stay friends with her.
ほ
Then how shall she be dealt with?
え
Let's stop saying dealt with for now, okay?
と
Besides, of course the Dalion soldiers are good at magic, but that goes for us as well, right?
む
Just because it was probably caused by magic doesn't mean we can jump to conclusions and blame it on Dalion.
ああ
I don't believe Elmesia would do something like this. I think it's more logical to consider this the work of an outsider, someone not from our three nations.
ふむ
Soy, did you notice anyone with suspicious mana among the soldiers participating in this military drill? No, we haven't found anyone who possesses such mana.
なんだって
Seriously? Not even you were able to locate the culprit.
うおお
It's possible they cast an advanced magic. Therefore,
ふむ
I shall see that they are dealt with. Stop saying dealt with!
でも
But seriously, I haven't been able to detect the culprit with my magic sense. How could that be possible when it's magic that caused a disturbance like this?
ふむ
What do you intend on doing?
ああ
I have to find who the culprit is, of course. After all, we really want to avoid serious conflict with Dworgen and Thalion.
くそ
There has to be someone who's caused all this confusion. I'll find you, no matter what.
ん
Could this mana be?
ふむ
Diablo, have you noticed?
はい
Of course. This mana is too distinct to be missed. It appears that the Heavenly Emperor Elmesia has made her move. I really do hate that they say the full title of each of the kings instead of just saying Elmesia has made her move.
ほ
I sense the Thalion troops are also moving to attack, just like Dworgen. They probably intend on taking advantage of all the confusion.
あ
So even Thalion is still trying to go for the win, huh? I had no idea that she was so aggressive.
あなあ
Diablo, can I ask you to handle Elmesia?
ええ
Yes, I understand exactly what you're implying. Please leave it to me. What you're implying. Does Diablo think Rimuru wants him to take out the troops? Or Elmesia herself? But this is another connection. When Gazelle, Elmesia, and Rimuru had that meeting discussing the debt that Rimuru needed to pay to the Eastern merchants, Elmesia kinda got mad for a second when she noticed Diablo, or when Rimuru was trying to talk to Diablo. Like, her eyes just went off for a second, like she was mad, or her energy was overflowing, aura, whatever you call it. So, they're probably gonna discuss this a little bit when Diablo meets Elmesia, which is gonna be a little cool to see, because we haven't, like, gotten the full rundown of what their history is. But I'm glad to see that they're putting people who have history to fight each other in this event.
頼むな
Thanks! I'm counting on you! Oh, and don't overdo it, okay? Hoo 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 hoo. Certainly.
うーん
Alright, that takes care of Elmesia. I just hope Diablo and Elmesia don't get into a conflict of their own.
あ
As for me, I better make the most of the time Hikaru and Diablo are buying for me. That said, there's not much I can do when I can't sense any suspiciously powerful mana around.
ん
Wait, if I can't detect it through my magic sense, that must mean...
ほほ
What is this? I can feel a powerful force of mana approaching this way.
どうも
Good day to you, Emperor Elmesia. I love when the scary music comes on, or the kind of sad, scary music.
呆れるな
So it's Rimaru's butler after all. I still can't believe that he tamed this beast of a demon. I'd rather not have to deal with him, but I guess I have no choice. Also, I'm still very confused at what Elmesia did. Like, what was that body transfer that she did earlier? So, did she create a body double, or at least always has a body double somewhere nearby that she stores, so she can do business without her forces knowing? So it's like, did she send the one in the dress, or battle uniform, whatever you want to call it, to battle with her troops, and sent this one to go investigate? Or is this the one that she sent out to investigate, while the battle outfit just stays in her tent?
そうさな
What brings you here, butler?
はい
I've been ordered by Great Rimaru to prevent the Thalion troops from advancing.
ほほ
I see. However, we simply can't stop the drill just because our soldiers have been hurt.
よいか
I'm sure it's all come as a surprise to you as well. Surely you haven't come here to beg us to stop marching.
いいえ
Of course not. So what are you implying? I'm not implying anything. I'm merely requesting that you halt. That's funny because earlier he was like thinking Rimaru was implying something, and now here he is trying to deny that he's implying anything to Elmesia.
しかし
But it does seem that you're unaware of what really happened. How disappointing.
ほほ
Oh. Okay, so means Diablo wanted them to be the masterminds behind this so he could wipe them out. So he could have dealt with them.
ふむ
Our soldiers went berserk because they were manipulated by someone's magic.
ええ
This is Great Rimaru's understanding.
であれば
If that's the case, it's not so strange to assume that a Thalion soldier skilled in magic was behind all this, would it?
呆れるな
So you're suspicious of my troops, or perhaps me.
違うわね
I would have thought that Rimaru had enough sense to know that we would never do such a thing.
その通りです
Of course, Great Rimaru isn't doubting you.
ふむ
While you've dispatched your troops towards our post, Dorgan has done the same, so it would be unwise to jump to the conclusion that you were behind all of this.
さようか
Then why do you stand in my way? If there's even the slightest possibility that you may try to harm Great Rimaru, then there's enough of a reason for me to confront you.
ほう
Oh?
いかがです
I believe that this resolve is to be expected of a vassal who serves him.
そうさな
And that's why you chose to get in my way?
ええ
Indeed. However, Great Rimaru did give me explicit orders, so I shall treat you with a little more care than I would others.
仕方ないわね
I find that remark insulting. You know I don't have much time to waste, right?
さあ
Indeed. let us cut to the chase. And now 2 magic users are going to be battling, and I guess her soldiers aren't going to be able to tell what's happening, because this battle is between master magic users. Also, that is interesting. His weapon is a spear, not his normal sword that we usually see most outfits are given.